Okay, so resistors. What is a resistor? A resistor is an electrical component that it is used to limit the electrical current in a circuit. As you see here, here is an example of a circuit, and these little pipes are what are called resistors. What this does is that it slows down and divides the voltage across the entire circuit. The resistor works with units of ohms, and they can be put either parallel or in series in a circuit. The way that this works is that the electrons flow through a circuit and they bump to each other in these spikes that are the transistors in order to slow down and decrease voltage across the circuit. And this is an example of a resistor.
Okay, now transistor. The transistor is an electronic device which consists of three terminals. Now, as you see, this is the transistor, and there has the three terminals. So, transistors are made of semiconductor material, which controls the flow of voltage and current, and acts like a switch for electronic signals. There are two types of transistors, the PNP and the NPN. Most circuits tend to use the NPN. Now, the transistors are designed in very different shapes, and the three terminals are named base, emitter, and collector. The base terminal is responsible for activating the transistor. The emitter is the negative lead of the transistor, and the collector is the positive lead.
Okay, so capacitors. A capacitor is also an electronic device used in circuits. The main function of the capacitor is to store energy. The way that it works is that it has two plates of conductive material, and in between it has a dielectric material, also called an insulator. What the insulator does is that it prevents the two conductive materials from touching, and therefore storing the energy. In the circuit you can see that the electrical current flows through the circuit, and in the capacitor, from both plates, from the positive and negative, the electrons cannot pass due to the dielectric material. And here is an example of a capacitor. The capacitor is measured in farads, and usually a farad means a lot of capacitance. So the larger the plates, the larger the capacitance, and the closer they are also means the larger capacitance. Okay, at last, the LED. The LED is an electrical component also. By its letters, LED means light emitting diode. This electrical component, what does is that with the electrical current flowing through, it emits a light. And how does it do that? The diode gets all the energy from the current in the circuit, and the more current it draws from the circuit, the higher intensity it will have. And diodes come in all sizes, shapes, and colors. As you can see, these two, this is a big green diode, and this is a small one, and here you can see that it has an electric power, so it can emit light. So what the diode does is that it emits lights with current, and the more current it draws, the more intense the light will be. So in some cases, resistors are used in order to control the electrical current flow for the resistors to not fry.
Okay, integrated circuits. The integrated circuit is also called IC and sometimes microchip. This component is made of semiconductor material, and it can function as an oscillator, microprocessor, amplifier, and a timer. An IC is categorized as linear or nonlinear, and depending on its application. These linear integrated circuits are used in audio frequency and radio frequency amplifiers. Digital ICs operate only a few in defined states rather than over a continuous range of signal amplitudes. And the main reason of the creation and the good development of the integrated circuits was to reduce the size and the cost of electronic components, and in order to create more efficient and faster computers.